Hello, my dear English-speaking followers, clients, and friends, of course, astrology lovers. Here is Olga Vasilchuk from very sunny Costa Rica. I would like to present you today a small, refreshing video about the retrograde phase of Mercury in Leo that will last from July 26 until August 19, 2018. My friends, I spoke already more than once about Mercury retrograde because its retro movement happens 3 times per year, right? So I will not reveal anything particularly special and new to you today. I will just underline the particularity of the retrograde phase of Mercury in Leo of this summer because it will coincide with the season of eclipses that we are going through now. But before to talk about this astrological event in this refreshing material, I would like to tell you, I'd like to announce with pleasure that I'm planning to launch astrology courses, online courses. You will find the description of the first of the 4 modules in the description of the video and in the first comment that I posted and pinned in the top of the list of all the comments under my video. So I will download progressively, lesson by lesson, not on my website to begin with, on a platform where you will be able to have access to the material. Maybe later I will organize interactive webinars, but I will start with something simple. Yes, 4 modules, around 60 lessons. Each lesson will last for 2 hours and a half, 3 hours maybe, or maximum 2 hours and a half. But let's start with something simple. So I will announce very soon when the first lesson is ready, so you will be able to get advantage of the promotional price for the first lesson. So stay tuned or write me a personal message if you want to be on the list, not to miss the first lesson that I am planning to release, of course. I would like to, preferably before the beginning of the retrograde phase of Mercury. And write me your comments and questions. What do you think about this idea? And let me know if you would like to participate, so that I will send you all the necessary links. Now let's get back to our main subject, to the main subject of this video, to the retrograde phase of Mercury. That will last from July 26th. Mercury will be retrograde in the 23rd degree of Leo, and it will get back to the direct movement on the 18th of August in the 11th degree of Leo. And so we talk about here about the loop, right? On July 7th, we started the retrograde loop of Mercury in Leo, and Mercury is the planet that symbolizes ways and means by which we establish connections between us and the outside world. And another question is, what topics are associated with the sign of Leo? Self-presentation, of course, ways of self-expression, how we show to the world our ideas, how we exchange with the feelings of love and gratitude with others, how we play the roles, those roles that we need to play in order to receive appreciation of other people. Leo is also the ability to live our lives as if our life was a big fiesta, celebration, and how we fill our lives with the creativity. In order to succeed in these areas, we will have to revise the tools of thinking. I talk about the retrograde phase of Mercury. We'll have to review the models of communications, the schemes of learning if we talk about mercurial activities such as learning, communication, trips, travels. And the importance of solving these problems today is amplified by the impact of the summer eclipses and of the great opposition of Mars and the Sun on the axis Leo Aquarius. So these 3 events happen at the same time. the eclipses, opposition Sun, Mars, and the retrograde phase of Mercury. All these will bring changes in the mentioned areas, and all this will bring fateful events that are not under our control, fateful events. We will inevitably be freed from old mental models. We will change the familiar roles. We will create new programs, and we will learn to master new tools in all that relates to love, self-realization, to the expansion of our potential. It will be important not only to solve the issues of our self-esteem, but also to get rid of the problems of our own ego, of the excessive dependence on the opinion of others. So what about the structure of the loop? As I said, it started on the 7th of July, around the 9th of July. Mercury completed its previous cycle of Mercury related to the Sun. And if during this day we started already to face problems, obstacles, misunderstandings in the mercurial spheres, these might have indicated that it was time to change something in our behavior. So on the eve of the lunar eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius, and on the eve of the opposition Mars-Sun on July 26th, Mercury turns into its retrograde movement. So the days close to this day, 26th of July, plus or minus 2 days before and after, these are days of stationary Mercury. And these days, the particularly important turning events will emphasize the importance of the questions such as self-esteem, self-realization, recognition, love and creativity, the questions, the issues of our questions of our value. Do not exclude finding yourself in painful situations, encountering problems, obstacles, failures in carrying out our projects. And all these problems and delays will emphasize, as I'm repeating myself, the need for change. Summarizing, getting results, restructuring past strategies, freeing ourselves from useless programs and ties, this is what this phase is suitable for. The phase of the loop is suitable for. Some aspects of the past may disappear from our lives by our own initiative or by the will of external circumstances. So what is better to do? What is ideally? What should we ideally do during this period? Summarize, complete projects started in the past, get rid of useless connections, ties, links, attitudes, behavioral programs, plans and projects. Take advantage of the past experience, draw constructive conclusions from past actions, determine what skills, abilities, actions, and achievements of the past can be used in the future for new projects. Make new projects in the areas where we already have experience and knowledge. Apply accumulated knowledge, experience, use existing connections in solving new problems, and search for new ways to solve old problems. Of course, learning, we should learn, to deepen existing knowledge and to acquire new knowledge, skills, and role models. What do we need to be careful about during this phase of the loop? New beginnings and projects. We know all that. It's not recommended to get engaged in totally new projects unless they are a continuation of the previous activity. We should respect schedules, commitments, and agreements, because confusions in the dates, time, forgettings, errors, delays in terms occur very often these days because all communication and adaptation systems are in the state of reload. And it's difficult to be sure that everything will happen on time, that everybody will be on time. We will be often late, and other people also will not be on time. So be tolerant towards your close environment. What else? Search for mutual understanding. Everybody will be busy now with their own problems. So because everyone will reset their own program. So it will be difficult to expect attention for our problems from others. Handling of equipment, means of transport and communication. All systems related to information, movement, communication complete their cycles of existence, and as a result, accidents and breakdowns of the means of communication and transportation will be frequent. Cell phones, computers, cars, patience. Acquisition of this equipment, of the means of communication and transport, the conclusion of agreements. Any shortcoming, negligence in the details will end to by an unpleasant consequence. Will lead to unpleasant consequences. I think that people who have Mercury retrograde in their natal chart can buy computers and cell phones, because for them it will be a very favorable period, of course. So the new cycle, Sun Mercury, will start around August 7th, 11th, because on August 9th, the conjunction Sun Mercury will mark the beginning of a new cycle of Mercury relative to the Sun, of course. That will last until the next conjunction Mercury Sun this autumn. And during this new cycle, we will interact in a new way with the world, using our capabilities differently, managing our life projects in alternative ways. And these days, August 7th, 11th, have a huge potential for restarting old programs. The beginning of the new cycle of Mercury will occur 2 days before the solar eclipse in Leo on August 11th. So that means that the issues of self-realization, of self-expression, of love and recognition, of the improvement of quality of life, ability to act as creator of our own lives will come to the fore, all these questions, and we will have the opportunity to launch new scenarios in these areas. We need to think about the following. We have to ask ourselves the following question. Are we totally ready to turn the page, to get rid of the past, to remove old ways, old schemas and patterns of behavior? And we have to learn whether we are ready to learn. We have to ask ourselves whether we are ready to learn new ways of interaction with the outside world. If we are not ready yet for these changes, then the problems of love, creativity, and self-expression will continue to exist in all, and all our energy will be spent by inertia for the application of old models to the resolution of these problems. So these days, August 7th, 12th, are particularly difficult days. These are the days of the combustion of Mercury, conjunction Mercury-Sun, the combustion. They coincide with the last days of the lunar cycle, and of course with the solar eclipse in Leo. So why these days are difficult? Our ability to adequately evaluate our own actions and decisions, the risks that we will be tempted to take, this ability will be weakened, while the need to impress, to assert ourselves in our own value, the need to take risks against the common sense will be strengthened. So it's very important to control these impulses, not to plan important events, important projects for these days, especially if we see that it's difficult for us to control ourselves, that we do not control our words and gestures. And at the same time, during these days, completely new programs in all these areas that I mentioned crystallize on the subtle level. These are the days of restart, when we reset the counters to the zero. It's extremely important to control what our thoughts are focused on, what attracts our attention. We must observe the hygiene of thoughts. And after that, we start the increasing phase of the loop of Mercury retrograde from August 9th until September 2nd, approximately, the second half, the second part of the loop. So here now we are beginning to find the benchmark in new conditions. Our affairs are not moving forward as fast as we would like them to move, because Mercury will be still retrograde and it will turn to the direct movement on August 19th, around 19th and 22nd. Nevertheless, we will try to live in new conditions by devoting ourselves to the implementation of new creative ideas. So August 19th, 22nd, these are the days of Mercury, of stationary Mercury, when its speed is minimal, and these days will summarize the changes that we have, that we just lived, we went through, the changes that just happened. The new patterns of behavior are getting fixed into the reality, and all new decisions taken, new departures will become the reality of our lives, and they will receive a powerful impetus to development. They will continue to the dynamic of development throughout the new cycle, Sun-Mercury, that will last until the next conjunction, Sun-Mercury in autumn, October, November. What should we do during this period, the second half of the loop, where we will be successful? We should create new projects, plans, and implement them in reality. We should use new knowledge, skills, and methods and schemas to solve old problems and also new tasks and problems. We should learn new types of activities, we should apply in practice and these new skills and knowledge, and we should improve new knowledge. But we have to be careful about the following, that at the beginning of the period from 9th to 12th, I'm repeating myself, the days of the on the eve of the solar eclipse in Leo, there is a high probability of errors and misfunctions in the systems of communication and adaptation, because the systems will still be in the phase of reboot. That means that we should not do many things at the same time. We should not strive to embrace the impossible. When the Mercury finishes its retrograde movement on the 19th of August, and then it ends its retrograde loop on the 2nd of September, and it will move forward in its usual normal speed. Then we can do whatever we want. We can take care, we can get engaged in any new project that we just visualized recently during the second half of the loop. So this was just a small reminder about the basics of the retrograde movement of the planet of Mercury. This time it will be in Leo, and the time is very important because, as I said, I repeat myself, the retrograde phase of Mercury coincides with the season of eclipses. So good luck to all of you. Let me know in the comments what you think about the idea of studying astrology. So good luck to all of you. I will talk to you in 1 week in the next video about the lunar eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius. Thank you for your time and attention. Goodbye.